Picture 5 major countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, sitting at a table. Together they form BRICS, a group that started as an economic idea but has become a global force. These nations represent over 40% of the world's population and a growing share of the global economy. Think of them as a new team on the world stage, determined to have a bigger say. Their journey began with quiet meetings about economic cooperation. They wanted developing countries to have more influence, not just the West. Over time, talk turned into action. They built institutions and made agreements. BRICS isn't a military alliance, but their economic weight gives them real power. The world is watching as BRICS challenges the old rules of global finance. Their recent expansion, adding Saudi Arabia, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE, has made them even more influential. Now, BRICS Plus controls a significant share of the world's oil production. Their decisions can ripple through global markets, affecting lives everywhere. This is more than economics, it's about a changing world order. For decades, the US and its allies set the rules. Now, BRICS wants to help write them. They envision a future not dominated by a single power or currency. This is the core mission of BRICS, to reshape the global balance of power. Their actions today could redefine the world for generations. The BRICS story is just beginning, and its impact could be historic. To understand BRICS' challenge, we need to know why the US dollar is so powerful. For over 70 years, the dollar has been the world's reserve currency, used for trade, savings, and global finance. Most international deals like buying oil happen in dollars, giving the US a huge advantage. This system began after World War II, making the dollar the center of global finance. Even after the gold standard ended, the dollar's dominance continued. The US can borrow cheaply and print money with less risk, thanks to global demand for dollars. It also gives Washington political power. Sanctions can cut countries off from the dollar system. But this dominance creates risks for others. US policy changes can cause chaos abroad. Many countries, including BRICS, see this as unfair and dangerous. They're asking, what if we didn't have to use the dollar for everything? That question is fueling a global financial rebellion. BRICS' first big move? Trading with each other in their own currencies. Traditionally, even BRICS countries traded in US dollars, adding costs and reinforcing dollar dominance. Now China and Brazil, Russia and India and others are settling trade in yuan, reais, rupees, and rubles. Each deal outside the dollar system chips away at its power. These bilateral agreements set a precedent for others to follow. This shift reduces demand for US dollars and gives BRICS countries more independence. It also protects them from US sanctions and political pressure. For ordinary people, the effects may be slow, but over time this could change global prices and trade flows. If the dollar weakens, US imports could get pricier, while BRICS trade could become smoother. This is the first stone in a quiet revolution. The world's rising powers are building a new system, one trade deal at a time. The old rules are being rewritten. The future of global commerce is changing right now. Enter the New Development Bank, or NDB, BRICS' answer to the World Bank and IMF. The NDB funds infrastructure and development in BRICS and other emerging economies, but with a twist. It offers loans in local currencies. This shields countries from dollar fluctuations and US policy changes. The NDB's approach undermines the dollar's role in global finance. It's already funding projects across BRICS, aiming for a third of its loans in local currencies. This gives developing nations more options and financial independence. The NDB is more than a bank, it's a symbol of a shifting global power balance. The world's financial architecture is being quietly rewritten. Gold is making a comeback as central banks, especially in BRICS, buy it at record levels. This shift is a direct response to US sanctions. Countries want assets the US can't freeze. Gold can't be devalued or blocked by foreign powers, unlike dollar reserves. China has led the charge, boosting its gold reserves for months. This reduces demand for US government debt and could raise borrowing costs in America. The rush to gold signals doubts about the dollar's long-term stability. Some BRICS nations are even discussing a new trade currency backed by commodities like gold. These moves are a silent protest against the dollar's reign. The global financial landscape is changing, fast. BRICS is building its own digital payment system to bypass SWIFT, the US-influenced global network. Russia's SPFS and China's CIPs are early steps. The goal is a unified BRICS payment network. This would let BRICS nations trade directly, avoiding the dollar and Western sanctions. They're also exploring central bank digital currencies for instant cross-border payments. Imagine India paying Russia in digital rupees and rubles. No delays, no intermediaries. This would be a technological leap, challenging the dollar's dominance. If successful, it would give countries a real alternative to the dollar-centric system. For the US, it means less leverage and less visibility into global transactions. This isn't science fiction. It's the next front in the battle for economic power. The future of money is being built now. The BRICS story is still unfolding, and the next few years will be crucial. The US dollar remains powerful, but the world is moving toward a multipolar financial system. Watch the annual BRICS summit for major announcements, like a common currency or new payment systems. Pay attention to which countries join BRICS and how much trade is settled in local currencies. Track the NDB's lending and central bank's gold reserves for signs of accelerating change. Listen to global leaders' reactions. Will the US adapt or resist? The world's financial map is being redrawn. The dollar's reign faces its biggest challenge yet. We're all witnessing history in the making.